The 2026 FIFA World Cup, it's around the corner, and President Donald Trump wants it to be the grandest ever. But ironically, this tournament may end up being remembered for something completely different, the smallest stories. Because this is the first World Cup where some of the tiniest nations on the planet, smaller than some Indian cities, even Indian towns, have fought their way to football's biggest stage. Cape Verde, Curacao, Panama, and the hardship stories, Haiti, DR Congo, tales of survival, grit, diaspora dreams, and pure footballing miracles. But even after rewriting history, the battle isn't over, because next, waiting with its arms crossed, is America and Donald Trump's very strict policies. The 2026 edition is the first ever 48-team World Cup, which meant 16 new teams would have a shot at history. And what happened during the qualification cycle is a story so wild you'd think it was scripted to the T. Four-time champions Italy, not even qualified yet. Nigeria, the African powerhouse, knocked out. Chile, regulars of global football, facing the exit door. Spotlight shifted towards the countries with populations so small you could fit the entire nation inside a mid-sized Indian district. Because this World Cup might have more David versus Goliath stories than any before it. Take Cape Verde, a nation younger than the modern FIFA World Cup, a country that turned 50 less than 150 days ago. Population just over 5.5 lakh people. To put that into perspective, every single US state, even Wyoming, has more people than Cape Verde. But on the pitch, they are giants. A football federation formed only in 1982. Players scattered across the world, but united by one impossible dream. The dual nationality masterclass worked. Their top scorer, Livramento, comes from the Netherlands. Several others from Portugal, France, Spain, but the backbone, the heartbeat, is homegrown. Coach Bubista has built this with Cape Verde-born veterans like Virginia and Stopira. Players who at one point started with salaries as low as $230 a month. And today, they've dragged their island into the greatest show on earth. Then comes the smallest of them all, Curacao, an island country with barely 160,000 people and autonomous territory inside the Kingdom of the Netherlands. They tapped into their Dutch Caribbean roots, building a team of players born in Europe but carrying Curacao in their veins. But the real superhero, their manager, Dick Advocaat, a legend, a man who once coached the Netherlands. Two Dutch coaches were in the running, including Louis van Gaal, yes, the ex-Manchester United manager, but Advocaat somehow called up the Curacao Federation president and convinced them he was the man for the job. He will head into this third World Cup with a passionate fan base backing him all the way. Panama made their debut in 2018, and now with a population of just 4.5 million, they're back for redemption. And yes, the qualification spots opened up because USA, Canada, and Mexico qualified automatically as hosts. But Panama still had to fight tooth and nail, and they did. And they're here again, this time more seasoned, more dangerous. We can't miss the heartbreak story here, though they didn't make it. Faroe Islands, a group of 18 islands with a population of around 55,000, a team of complete part-timers, teachers, fishermen, electricians, who came within minutes of qualifying for the World Cup. They lost 1-3 to Croatia, but imagine one more goal, one more moment, and they would have become the most iconic underdog story in World Cup history. But the World Cup isn't only about size, it's about who's carrying the heaviest burden, and no story hits harder than that of Haiti. A nation battling gang violence, political instability, economic collapse, a football team that hasn't trained on home soil for years. Their coach Sébastien Migne, appointed in 2024, has never even stepped foot in Haiti because of security concerns. Yet, they qualified. Their second World Cup, their first since 1974. But here's where football meets politics head-on, because Haitian fans might not even make it to the stadium. Haiti is second on Trump's banned list, which means unless their matches are placed in Mexico or Canada, their fans will watch from home, if they even have electricity. The same applies to Iran, also on Trump's banned list. Maybe making history doesn't guarantee entry into the stands anymore. So here we are, a World Cup built on dreams, with countries and athletes overcoming nightmares to make it there, proving that greatness isn't about population, it's about heart. Facing a unique challenge now, because after all the stadium lights and fireworks, one question will remain: can a World Cup truly be the biggest ever if the smallest nations telling the biggest stories cannot bring their own fans along with them? Because without the people, without the drums, the flags, the travel, the colors, the culture, football isn't football. The players will be there, but the soul of their nations, that will be missing. And that depends on politics, not passion. And that's the underdog battle of it all.
I was a revolutionary. I became a ruler. I claimed to protect my people. I terrorized them instead. I built palaces. I started wars. I lost everything. Some called me a defender of Arab pride. History remembers me as a dictator,